No? Okay, in your organization? Okay, the rest of them are actually testers, or they're very amazed by this panda speaking, right? When I consulted for a few projects, what I discovered is that in the first place, the manual testing was not supposed to be done at all. But they end up doing manual testing, and then they say, 5 reasons to automate this. It's boring. It's boring. It's painful. I am demotivated. And these can't be the reasons for someone to automate. And look at the beautiful work our industry has done in terms of selling the tools. How do they sell tools to your companies? They compare the tools to manual testing, right? That's the awesome way of actually selling a tool. Okay, if you buy this tool, 70% of your effort is reduced. Oh, that's awesome, right? So why don't you why don't you buy a tool that reduces the need for about 70% of the developers as well? Well, why not? Why not that? So our system has undergone a systematic industrialization to make businesses more profitable. And we are all victims and also beneficiaries of it. Okay? There were, I was talking to someone actually today. Is there some water I can get from the conference organizers? Yeah. So I was talking to someone today, and what I found out was that she was being asked. Oh, it's here. Thank you very much. See, I didn't notice. Right? Okay. She was being asked to select the drop down, and there were many options in the drop down, and you have to select each option and then see what happens. What are they testing there? Are they testing how the user would feel when they are operating with the drop downs, or are they doing a functional validation of the policy? They're doing functional validation of the policy. The functional validation of the policy does not need to be done by a human. I'm not saying we can completely eliminate the need of human. I'm saying that the functional validation, I'm not talking about the business risk validation by operating that. So we are being systematically taught to do things much slower. And that's what we've been doing for a long time. What we need in our industry, which I suspect it's not going to happen in India. Oh, does anybody recognize this? This is the Egyptian, the Tahrir Square, which was in big news, where the revolt happened for Hosni to go away, for the latest Morsi to go away, right? Okay, the entire country coming together. The closest that happened was done by Mr. Anna Hazare. Okay, but our system slowly moved him away, right? So we need all testers from the industry to recognize problems and say, this is not the way we are going to be doing, right? And there's still a time, for that to happen. But this is my wishful thinking that someday all testers will come on road and say, heck with your test cases. I don't want to do all of this crappy work. I don't want to do all of this. It's just making my job very painful. I mean, I have the B to do that. Okay, I have the B to do that. I don't know if others have that. Well, while I'm complaining about all of these things, I also want to bring to your notice that some people are already there out on the road. Okay, they're already out on the road, but they are actually mingled with the other crowds that are there, and you're not able to recognize them. Or you haven't paid attention, or you haven't introduced yourself to see if they're already there on the road for you, not for them, right? Okay, and so I want to talk about some people who are already there. Now, I'll just take a break. So what is this? What is this graph that you see here? It's a little bit closer to how my earnings in my career are. Okay? And you can see it going negative. You can see, I mean, I didn't want to put the numbers there. You will feel more, okay, sorry for me otherwise, right? So I just wanted to make it look like, oh, this is how, okay, things have happened, right? But if I did not oppose things that were happening, my graph would have, okay, pretty much looked like 1 lakh to 2 lakh, 2 lakh to 3 lakh, 3 lakh. After that, it slows down a little bit. Okay, 3 to 3.5 lakhs, 3.5 to 4, and okay, 4 to 4.5, and then this industry standard comes into picture. How many of you have negotiated with the HR people and said, oh, give me an industry standard salary? How many of you have said that? I mean, the rest of the people, you have not said that? You've not talked about industry standard salary? Really? That's awesome, man. I mean, I'm really amazed by that. Okay, I said that too. I said to a HR, okay, give me the industry standard salary. And she said, well, you tell me what's the industry standard. And I said, you're a HR. You're supposed to tell me what the industry standard is. Well, there's no such industry standard. Okay? It's all about what's the billing rate. Right? So don't be fooled by all this nonsense stuff that's happening out there in terms of industry standard salary packages and all that stuff. And well, some people do. They multiply your age in your career into 1.2 or 1.3 and all that stuff. Okay, that's how they do it. So my graph is pretty much like this, and this is an evidence that whatever I've been saying is I've been leading by example. Okay, inspired by this graph, there are a few people who have come forward. All right, okay, the most recognizable face out here is Rahul Verma. He was in McAfee. Well, he was doing very good, okay? His life was not like mine. He was doing very good, and he didn't have anybody to oppose there. Okay, so he quit his job, and he became an independent consultant. Okay, if you were to ask Rahul Verma, what made you quit your job and become an independent consultant? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. You would say the skills, the confidence I have about my skills, the knowledge that I have. Now, this tells me that if someone were to make a bold decision in life, they can be backed by skills. Okay, and today he's running a very successful business, successful both in terms of the financial part and in terms of how they test software, how they recruit testers. Okay, I will be covering that. But this guy you see, Abhilash, can you guess his age? He is 19 years old. He's a software tester. Okay, he's a school dropout. Go check out his blog, espytester, espytester.wordpress.com. You will be amazed at this 19-year-old boy writing about testing far superior than what many of the experienced testers I have met do. A 19-year-old guy. Right? Again, some organization was open in their mind to say, I don't need B, I don't need 70%, I don't need your B computer science, but you just demonstrate me the skills. Okay? So, this guy, the testpreneur guy, his name is Mohan Raj. Mohan Raj was working in some organization, and he was like, 2.5 years experienced. And he got inspired by, by the graph that I actually showed you, and started off his own company where, at least as per his website, he says, I'm going to be committed to deliver value to the customers, and I'm not bothered about anything else. Now, this fellow, you might say, well, is he rich? He's not rich. He's not rich. His parents are farmers, and they have to sell the tomatoes to be able to make money. And he was backed by his parents to say, go do something for the future. And that's what he's actually doing right now. Okay, this guy, Nagasahas, he's a fresher. And you know what he did? He wanted to be good in security testing. So he started practicing on the open source projects. And he happened to test Mozilla, for actually security. He found security problems in Mozilla as a fresher. And now Mozilla has invited him to a conference in the US. Okay? Now, there's this other guy called, Ankit, if you see. I don't know if there's a pointer there. Okay, Ankit. So, he works for a salary of 1.8 lakhs per annum. Okay, as far as I know. Now, he got an offer for 4.25 lakhs an annum. Okay, what is he supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? What do you expect the common Indian man to do? Jump over, right? But he didn't do that. He said, I want this kind of a culture for my future. And I don't want to sacrifice the culture of this company, to be able to move from a 1.8 package to 4.25 package. Now, the beauty is this came to him when his dad lost his job. Right? So people have been making hard choices for the future. And I'm very, very happy that I am no longer alone in my fight. Directly or indirectly, I have influenced these people in some way. Okay? Now, the way we recruit and the way Rahul Verma's company also recruits is in terms of asking people to demonstrate the skills. Okay, so we don't look at a resume and say, well, I've been looking at 10,000 resumes, by now, ever since I started this company. And what I see is the same thing. It's just that the name is different. When I open, it's the QTP 9.2. I mean, some people are actually still stuck there. And then there is this load runners, wind runners. Selenium, you asked for Selenium. Selenium is already there. Okay, they ensured that they mention Selenium. I'm learning Selenium right now, so that if we were to do a keyword search and in terms of matching the percentage, they get over that, right? So what's happening there is, for me, the recruitment is a big key. What employers are doing is they're asking for some particular skills, and they're actually getting it. If employers were to ask that I need salsa dancing skills to hire a tester, I am sure a lot of people in India who have tried to get a developer job for the 2 years and have not got it will end up getting a fake salsa certificate. And actually, come over. You want to try that? Do you want to try that? I've tried something like that. I created this non-existent term called black wiper testing technique. And I asked some people in the interview, do you know what black wiper testing technique is? There's no such thing, right? And after a few days, I see in some forum, someone is asking a question, do you know what black wiper testing technique is? And some tester is actually answering to that. This is what black wiper testing technique is. So employers have the power to influence the industry and change the industry. Now, but unfortunately, they're not doing it for the positive sides. They're doing it for the negative sides. Okay? Now, while I am talking about these things, I also want to talk about what next. Right? What next? For the employers. The employers, if they were to ask for skills, for example, how many of you agree that out-of-the-box thinking is important for a tester? Right? Is there a way that someone can actually test that of how good you are in that? Is there a way that you can systematically learn that? Is there no way to systematically learn that? Right? What most of us refer to out-of-the-box thinking is what some people may also call it as lateral thinking. And there are plenty of exercises and books available in order to learn lateral thinking. Okay? But unfortunately, the employers are not asking for those skills. The skills they ask for. Okay, can you give me an example of the skills they ask for? Yeah, okay. Can you give me some examples of the skills they ask for? Yeah. You?
Domain skills.
Okay, domain skills. Right. For testers, okay, before they become a manager, mostly in the skills part they mention the tools. Okay, like Selenium on all these things. How can tools be skills? Using the tool can be a skill. I mean, the different way you apply the same tool can be a skill. But the tool, okay, but the tool by itself cannot become a skill. Right? Okay, so if we employers were to start asking that we need you to have these skills, you will see people put that in the resume. Again, if they're not able to make through it, then they will figure out a way to learn it. So, okay, so I strongly believe that employers can change the way the industry testers are thinking and doing by asking properly what skills are needed for them to solve their problems. Okay, the other thing is, I talked about passion. Oh my God, I have a big problem with this. A lot of testers pretend to be passionate, right? Okay, I mean, all the testers I met, some testers are very honest. I love them. They say, I didn't want to be a tester. I'm just doing it for the sake of loan. Okay? And okay, some people, the most painful part of the industry is when people fake their passion. They say they are passionate, but they've not done anything about it. So you ask them, what have you done about your passion? I've not done anything about my passion. Have you read books? Have you talked to other, testers? Do you talk about, testing in lunch and, things like that? No, they don't know. There is weekend testing. Ajay is here. He's been running, weekend testing. There's not many people who pretend to be passionate, know about what's weekend testing. There's a whole bunch of good things that are happening. Right? So, the other thing, read and write. In every project planning, there is no time allocated to learning. Right? Someone came up with this beautiful continuous delivery agile model, and when I looked at it and I asked the question, okay, when are you going to learn? Well, learning happens when we are actually doing it. Learning does not happen that way always. There is some learning that you get immediately, but there is a lot of other things where you have to go, sit back, think and do that. Or that's why, in the agile world, there is things like this, retrospectives and, debriefing and all those things which are coming up. But then, the way I see they're being implemented is like ceremonies, right? Hey, where are you? We are supposed to do a stand-up right now, right? I mean, when I say stand-up, some people are already laughing about it because it's become a joke. I mean, people don't, no. The Agile Manifesto says you have to do a stand-up. The Agile Manifesto actually doesn't say that. But I'm saying that the Agile Manifesto says you have to do a stand-up if you want to be Agile. There's, Rahul Verma is a great person to explain to you about how people confuse Scrum into Agile and all that stuff. Practice. I talked about the weekend testing part. Or the courage part. I think organizations have not empowered people to speak up. And the way organizations are running is management through fear. Right? And this looks like a lot of complaint to you, but then hey, look at your own company and your own people. When you come out for a tea with your colleagues, don't they crib? Don't they crib? They do crib. And why are they cribbing? Is because they can't go and tell it to their management about it. Right? And I heard from some of the testers recently in an organization, when they did RISE, something like this, the HR took to the side and said, how dare you speak to the CEO like that? Right? Let me tell you this. CEO is a human being. CEO, if he's not a young CEO, they're married. Okay, they have a family. They think the same way you think. So they are perfect human beings. And your designation should not make you afraid or prevent you to talk to anything about anybody. And organizations which have a flat culture can benefit a lot more than having this hierarchy. Okay? So when I try to consult this particular thing, I mean, I can't name the company, but I was hired by a large services company. Well, I don't know if they're about a 10,000 member company, right? And there are about 3,500 testers there.